Brian McDaniel, the Murray County Emergency Management Director, are going to add just a couple of additional things that we find to be important. The purpose of this meeting is to make sure that you're informed, you know how to manage any information that's coming in, and so just a few suggestions. One, if you're not seeing information on an official social media page, it is likely to be inaccurate. Go back to an official source. For the city of Sulphur, they have stood up a Facebook page. They had a previous one that was inactive, and so they have a new one. I just had to find it myself backstage to make sure I could. It did take just a moment, but the Facebook page is Sulphur, OK. And that's where information is being posted. The second piece of that is we are working on our Oklahoma Emergency Management page to continue to push out information. You can find us pretty easily. We have a lot of followers. That's Oklahoma Emergency Management. You can also follow FEMA Region 6. They send out various posts as well. There are a tremendous amount of press releases going out, and we're trying to make sure those get to the right people. We are working on this actively. Kelly Kane is the Public Information Officer for the state of Oklahoma Emergency Management, and she is on the ground helping make sure that communication does flow. Now I'd like to turn it back over to Brian McDaniel to say a few more things, and then we may have time for about 1 or 2 questions.
Okay, thank you. Up front, there's a stack of informational sheets. This is an immediate resources sheet. We have a stack of them up here. It spells out where and what services are available in the community. So I do not have one here with me, but it will be tied to the Facebook page. There is a QR code. You can put your phone at it. It takes you to a site that is updated daily. As information changes, as more information becomes available, we update where that QR code takes you. I just got word, we were talking and doing site visits today for a DRC, which is a Disaster Recovery Center. That's where you go, sit face to face across from the table with a FEMA employee and work out what needs to be done, the next steps. If you get, and Jose might have not mentioned it, if you get a letter, most times, what was the term, Jose? I don't want to use that word.
That is how it's...
Okay, there might be a letter, and I'll let him say that, but if you get an initial denial letter, that doesn't mean you're denied. They may need more information, an insurance policy, some form of documentation to get you to the next process. So I've heard there have been people in the community that have got those denial letters, but that's not it. If you read into the body of the letter, they just want more information. Back to what I was saying, the DRC, Disaster Recovery Center, will be at Murray County Expo in the Workforce Building, which is the NRCS office, the 4-H office, in the computer lab in the northeast corner. So Disaster Recovery Center at Murray County Expo and Workforce Center and the computer lab. That will be Wednesday?
So we're working that out then for sure next week.
For sure next week. We're working through the process to get the facility set the way they need it. So it will be there next week, but in the meantime, use the ways that Jose talked about to register. And I think that's it. Okay. We'll have some time for some questions, if not here, in this venue, outside and around. Thank you.
And along with the DRC, we will have the SBA there, along with other state partners as well. The Insurance Commissioner's Office. Insurance can be one of those very frustrating things post-disaster. So if you are having issues with your insurance, the Insurance Commissioner's Office will be there on the ground with us to support, along with a wonderful surrounding of our voluntary organizational partners. We do have time for, let's see here, what time is it. We have time for just about one or two very general questions. We want to stay on time. If your hand is up in the back, I see a man back there. Kelly Kane will bring a microphone back. Kelly, you don't need a microphone? You don't have the question? You have the question, okay.
I have received a check that the Bank First had, funds from the Bank First amount, but I know people that haven't received one. Can you answer that question on how they go about receiving their checks?
I can answer that question.
Okay?
We're standing close to the microphone because this is live on some of the Chickasaw Nation radio stations, so if you could just come up here, that would be wonderful.
If anyone, business or individual, was in the area affected by the storm and they haven't received one yet, it's just because we haven't had a chance to get to them yet. We're working, we've got a 5-member team that I'm just friends with, they're doing it, okay? But they're working diligently. I think they got out. I don't know exactly what's been given, but I'll put it this way. We gave away $187,000 on Thursday. And, I'm going to speculate there was probably close to 80 yesterday. So they're not working today. They'll be back at it Monday, but there's a few folks that have fallen through the cracks. We understand that. We haven't given up. We have a list right now of those that we know that have fallen through. We mapped out the area. Anyway, I won't go into all that, but help's on the way. Help's on the way.
And one of the great reminders to thank Bank First, they're not only supporting here, but in the other areas that have been impacted. They've been wonderful, wonderful partners.
Can you give us an update on FedEx, Truck, UPS, Postal Service, where we might get packages that were gonna be delivered prior to or right after the tornado?
We're not certain with FedEx. We can get your information and get that out as well.
The post office is getting all those deliveries in Davis. You can pick them up there in Davis. I think I saw a post earlier that if you have a mailbox, if your mailbox is still intact, they'll deliver it, but otherwise it will be in Davis.
What about the people that cars were destroyed? How will they get to Davis to get it?
She was asking about the people whose cars were destroyed, how they would get to Davis to get the packages.
There is a service that is out there. I want to say it's the Big Five Community Jam, JMM, that's providing transportation back and forth. We will add that to our list of things to push out on that Facebook page so you can go look at that. We have one more comment that the SBA wants to make very quickly.
The person who said they got a check from the bank, please come see us before you make that payoff at the center. There are certain ramifications of paying off that loan that might affect you, so come see us, please.
Good afternoon, my name is Jason Rainbows. I'm Chickasaw. I flew in from California. I'm with the American Indian Movement, AIM, and I would like to know, Anatebi, in his hotel, how many misplaced tribal members are staying there and non-native tribal members. And I do understand from my sources in town that there is at least 20 empty rooms as we stand here right now.
I'm not aware of any tribal citizen needs at this point in time. I know we have.
My father is 84, a veteran of this country. My mother is a Chickasaw Enrolled member. I'm 5 generations here. She held on to him while he was being sucked out of the window. So there's one right there. What's your answer, sir?
We'd be glad to speak with you afterward.
I want the answer now. I represent the American Indian Movement, and I need an answer now.
I understand
we don't have that readily available, but we'll try to get with that.
We have time for one more question.
Hi, I can talk loud. But anyway, I don't know about all of you, but I know I don't get on Facebook to find out what the heck's going on in our town, okay? So I'm having friends say, hey, Ray, you see Facebook? No, I don't. I don't have time for that. So there needs to be another better way to get to us people who do not do social media, okay? I think it's unfair for all of us who have to go by word of mouth and wondering if there truly is a meeting or there truly not. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that comment. We have had some folks that have been delivering packets of that information out to the neighborhoods, and they're actually here today. That's why we have the printed copies of the resource list. We can help you out in any way, get that information. We will do so.
We also have, the Department of Transportation has placed a few of their mobile boards out there with that FEMA 1-800 number as well, acknowledging, again, that a lot of entities or individuals might not have access to internet at all. And so we are trying our best to get that out as well. Final question, I think, sir, down here, and then we're going to have to close it down to take the individual comments.
Well, as I remember during the pandemic, I was going with the SBA, and the SBA, they're making me got too many eyes and too many T's. And they asked me to get one thing, I got one thing. They asked me to get another thing, I got another thing. They asked me to get another thing, and I got another thing. They sent me back here, sent me back there. And at the end of the whole rodeo, SBA didn't help me. You know, I don't know who they help, but I know I'm one of the poorest, one of the neediest. You know what I'm saying? And my credit wasn't bad. You know, anyway, I just hope this don't turn out like the pandemic deal, you know, with all these promises and whatnot, and when you try to get online, you know, no one really, actually really helped me during that time, and, I'm just hoping better for everybody else. Thank you. I just wanted to vent that.
Heartfelt sentiments for you, sir. And this is my heartfelt sentiments for you, sir. And if there's anything we can do for this particular scenario, we'll be glad to. Individual cases always do exist. And my heartfelt sympathies for you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I want to make one final comment just to manage the expectations. And my background in this is for about the last 15 years. If any of you recall the 2019 flooding that took out communities across Oklahoma, oftentimes the federal government is here. We have an expectation that they're going to make every bit of support easy, helpful. That's the intent. There are going to be times where the information is confusing and the information is frustrating. We want to manage that. How we're trying to avoid that is to make sure that at those recovery centers, that those resources are there so you can go sit down in person with these entities. If you are having any troubles at all, please do reach back out through your emergency manager back to our office so we can try to figure out a good way to communicate some of the issues back if you're not hearing it directly from our federal partners. And with that, we will close, and we want to thank you all again for being here. We're doing our best to get stood up in a way that helps all of you understand what's going on. That's the reason why we're here so early and so often. We're here for the long haul with you, and our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts and all of those things are with you.